Hello, welcome to Soulprint Insights. I'm really excited about what I'm going to do in this video today. I'm going to do another direct channeling from Masudius. And as usual, the messages by Masudius are always copyrighted under me, under my private name. Okay, so I asked Masudius, things are getting so stressful. They're so tense. People are sick. People are dying. People don't have jobs. People are short of money. There's political stuff going on that makes us crazy. It makes us feel less safe. It makes us feel unstable. So I thought it would just be really, really important to get a fresh, current message from Masudius with regards to how to contain. No, that's not the right word. How to release the fear, the worry. Because as things become more out of control, or they feel that they are more out of control, it is harder and harder to hold center, to stay centered, to stay in your place of sort of power and wisdom and strength and higher connection to the divine. And it's just, I think, really, really important that we have a little bit of a conversation about how we deal with that energy when, frankly, sometimes it feels like there is no other energy that's coming at us. We just continually feel like we're absorbing kind of, body blow after body blow one way or the other. Excuse me. So I thought that would be a really great question to put to Masudius. And that's what we're going to do. So thank you again for being here. I'm so thrilled. Your support means so much to me. You are so generous and kind in all ways. And I absolutely love the community that has been built here at Soulprint Insights. And I thank every one of you for all that you do to support this channel. So thank you. All right, Masudius, let's have a little bit of a conversation, if we could please, about holding your center in difficult times, how you stay centered when it really feels like things are in a state of upheaval in your reality, in your world. So we are absolutely delighted to have this opportunity to share our thoughts with you when it comes to being and staying centered and how to stay in that place when things become difficult. Now, the first thing that we want to clearly deliver, the first and most important message is that your center, that feeling of being centered, of standing in your power, standing in your light, standing in your energy, that feeling of being centered is, in reality, in truth, your connection to your soul self and to the divine. So that feeling of centered is really about when you are, in fact, standing and connected to and in communion with not only your higher self, but the divine. And that feeling is incredibly attractive to humans because on some level it stirs a memory of what it is like to be on this side of the veil, where that connection is so clear and so easy to attain. And in fact, it's not really that you try to attain it as much as you simply are in it. That, of course, then becomes one of the challenges for those of you on the planet Earth who move through this. So understanding that is what centered means. Let's just start there. Now, when you are centered, when you are in that place, you have far more clarity of kind of a higher perspective of some of the things that go on around you. You can see them clearly, almost as if sort of you're not immersed into them. But when what goes on around you puts you in a state of fear, high anxiety, worry, distress, aggravation, it can be really hard to find center. But finding center is exactly what you must do in order to, you're not ever going to eradicate those feelings, but to gently push those feelings away so that the energy that surrounds you is lighter and brighter. And by moving those other energies away, you can send them off into the light for transmutation so that they become benign, frankly, so that those more toxic, angrier, more negative, lower vibration energies can become benign. And you can continue to stand in center. So many ways. There are as many ways to get centered as there are people on the planet. You can get centered simply with rhythmic breathing for a few minutes. You can get centered with meditation or prayer. You can get centered by shifting sort of your reality or your focus. So maybe you want to jog, or you want to garden, or you want to immerse yourself in some creative endeavor that really separates you into a place, into a space where you're very, very focused on the here and the now. The here and the now is really the place you need to be to stay centered, to stay calm. And we'll explain. When something happens and you get frightened or scared, it is because your brain, your thought processes take the feeling from from this moment, and it sends that energy forward and sometimes backwards. So what you have are people who are afraid about the future. You are afraid about events from the past. In the moment, in the actual moment, you are simply standing center. It is when your thoughts sort of expand out from that center that is where some of these emotions really, really can gain traction and roots, because you've shifted yourself from the moment to what could happen as a result of this, or how bad it could be, or even how good it could be, frankly. But there is that sense of you've lost center because you have lost the moment. You aren't standing in the moment. And that is why things like fear and agitation and worry are able to take root. It's very helpful and important for you to remember that every one of you, in your own way, makes the best decision that you are able to make in any given moment in time. Now, that doesn't mean it was a great decision. It also doesn't mean it's the most brilliant decision you've ever made. But in that moment in time, you did the best you could do for that moment. And it is very helpful for you to remember that and release it. Otherwise, you end up carrying these sort of sacks over your shoulder that are filled with worry and fear and past behaviors and past actions and how what the ramifications you carry these heavy sacks that really don't allow you then to stay in a moment in a place of center. So perhaps we could kindly suggest that you might all want to give yourself a bit of a break and not be so hard on yourself and have confidence and faith and trust that the power that you have in the moment is the right decision. It is going to help you eradicate, eliminate, minimize some of the fear and anxiety that you're dealing with. You can, to find center, do just about anything that will take you deeper into the moment you are having. So you completely experience the moment. And when you're in the moment, moment by moment by moment, that is when you are at your best. Because you're not focused on before and you're not focused on future. You're simply focused on where you are right now and how you're feeling. So when you are in the moment and you realize, oh my God, like on a basic level, my center has become unbalanced because I'm now standing in a place of fear or anxiety or worry or stress. When you recognize that those are the emotions that are taking over, that is when you very gently pull yourself back to the moment. And you tell your thoughts to stop. Send those thoughts to the light. Tell yourself that you are now going to take 3 deep breaths in and out and get back to center. It doesn't mean that it eliminates whatever it is that is producing the anxiety or the worry. But what it does do is it creates an environment where you don't let that have your power. You don't give that your energy so that it becomes amplified, so that it finds more of that energy and grows. And as that happens, so does your fear and anxiety grow. As things become difficult in any situation, it is so important that while you do not deceive yourself or put rose-colored glasses on, that you also do not somehow gravitate to the worst possible scenario. That which you fear can become amplified and potent as quickly and as easily as that which you love. You need to always remember that. And your purpose is to stay centered. You're never going to be at one end or the other end exclusively, but you certainly can find ways to keep yourself centered so that energies and emotions that are really not in your highest self-interest, you are able to sort of diminish and dissipate so that you can move forward in a way so that you can think clearly. You can figure out what's going to work or not work for you. So staying in a state of agitation because something is going to be lost, or there's going to be, some event that is not what you want to have happen. Well, when you pull yourself back to center, sometimes you can figure out a way to shift the energy so that what you fear most doesn't happen. Perhaps in those moments, you may figure out the lesson. You may figure out the wisdom that you were trying to seek. You will remember to remember whatever that moment holds for you. And again, by doing that, you are in the moment and you lessen the impact of the fear going forward. It is not an easy thing to achieve 24/7, and indeed, we honestly don't recommend it, because that vast variety of emotions and energies and passions and hates and all of it is all part of the experience you are having on the planet in physical form. And so it's not that you live in a state of centered, but it is that you find center, that you have a method or a way to quickly return to center, that you are able to see the experiences around you and maintain that sense of equilibrium. And as we have said, as many people as there are, that is as many ways there is to find center. You know you better than anyone. And you know the things that will help bring you to a state of being in the moment. Maybe it is colors. Maybe it is certain activities. Maybe it is a way of breathing. Maybe it is, aroma. Maybe it smells. Whatever it is, each one of you, have several different ways of getting to center. So part of what we encourage you to do, invite you to do, is take a good look at the things in your life that just make you go, I'm okay. It's going to be okay. Even in this moment, if it doesn't feel okay, it's going to be okay. I found center. I found my equilibrium. And we will tell you that many, 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 and most of you have several, 3 or 4 different ways to find center. Figure out what they are, explore them, figure out which ones work better, or when some work for specific things and others work for other specific things. Explore your own soulprint. Explore your life. Talk to your higher self. Connect with the divine inside. And know that the answers are there. It is for sure a balancing act. But always remember, on Earth, you really can't have one without the other. We are very, very grateful for the opportunity to have once again been invited to share some of our wisdom with each of you. And we do remain at this time Masudius. Alrighty, so I guess for those interested, you're going to spend the next many days or weeks, whatever it is, having sort of internal conversations with yourself, not only mentally, but like physically and emotionally, and see if you can discover what the 3 or 4 things that you have that in your tool chest that you can work with to find center, stay center, and return to center. At the bottom of it all, remember, center is your connection to your higher self and the divine. It's important that you be centered. Thank you so much for joining me here on Soulprint Insights. To all of my new subscribers, thank you so very much. I really love that you're here, and I love the community that we have here at Soulprint. So, until I see you again, stand in your energy, stand in your power, stand in your light. Bye for now.